Welcome back, guys, to Young Americans Abroad, your best place for weekly content on young American soccer players playing overseas. My name is Austin Van Churn.
And my name is Patrick Ferry.
And welcome to our show. Well, we're here again this week. Some American soccer players had a big weekend this past weekend.
We had some goals, assists, players returning, players injured.
It's true.
A lot going on, Austin.
Oh, yeah. We have to also mention, you want to gloat for a few seconds? Don't take too long. Yeah, right?
No, that was unbelievable, that game against Roma. They did give up those two late goals, but Austin, that, as a Liverpool fan, a diehard Liverpool fan, it's exciting to finally see us 1 foot in the door of that final.
Yeah. Let's hope the second leg goes right.
That's right. And let's hope Christian Pulisic will come to Liverpool one day.
Oh,
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Well, it's a potential. It could definitely happen. But yeah, so we got a big show for you today, and let's get into it.
So to get things started here, Austin, we're going to start in the Bundesliga, and you want to introduce our first player, a young American abroad?
Of course, and that's none other than Christian Pulisic. So Christian Pulisic played 72 minutes in Dortmund's 4-0 win over Bayer Leverkusen this weekend. Big win for them.
Crucial. Where does that put them in the table, Austin?
Yeah, so that moves them. Well, I guess they stay in third, but that moves them 3 points above Leverkusen now, and also 2 points behind Schalke. So
there it is.
Yeah, so it was a big win for them this weekend. Christian Pulisic played really well in this game. It's probably the third best player on the field, just behind Jadon Sancho, who had a great game, first start in a long time, first minutes, was injured for a little bit. And then Marco Reus obviously had 2 goals in the game. Looked
Classic
really good
Reus.
the entire game. Yeah, right. But yeah, so Christian Pulisic had a nice assist in the first half to Jadon Sancho for Dortmund's first goal. It was a nice little cross and into the box that found Sancho. Also, I'm not sure if it put Benjamin Heinrichs on Leverkusen on the floor. He fell over. But I think he was kind of going to the floor before the pass was made. But nonetheless, a really nice pass from Christian, who passed it to Jadon Sancho, who finished for the goal.
And that run beforehand where he was dribbling with the ball.
It
was like a little I don't know how to even explain it.
He put it
right
onto
to left.
his
It was
1 foot.
Yeah, really quick.
Yeah,
a quick,
back.
swift move there. That was.
Yeah, it was a nice move. I remember watching it in real time and just being like, oh God, that's.
Why can't I do that?
It's a good move. Yeah, right. I wish. But yeah, he also drew a penalty later on in the first half, which Marco Reus unfortunately didn't convert. He would have had a hat trick if he did, which would have been nice for Dortmund. But nonetheless, again, Christian Pulisic drawing a penalty. It seems like the common narrative in his young career so far. That's something he does a good job at, is getting contact in the box and earning penalties. He's done that probably 3, 4, maybe even 5 times so far over the past 2.5 years, and in crucial moments or moments where Dortmund needs a goal. So again, a dynamic performance, really looked good going forward, dribbling at players, really was involved well, and Dortmund changed up the lineup.
That's right, Austin. The coach kind of shook things up.
Yeah, especially after that Bayern loss a few weeks ago.
That was bad.
They lost 6-0.
Yeah.
And then Schalke last weekend, which they lost 2-0. Stoger definitely set out a younger lineup, a lineup that was more attacking and had some better quality of attacking players, in my opinion, with Mario Götze and Maximilian Philipp playing as striker now, filling in for Michy Batshuayi, who unfortunately is out for the year for Dortmund, which will change the way they play. And I think that'll actually help Christian Pulisic because he'll be more fluid in attack. Maximilian Philipp's a player that likes to come back into the midfield and get involved in play going forward. So I think that helps Christian Pulisic's game. He'll obviously come in and interchange with Pulisic, where Batshuayi would try to do that, but he would more just hold up the ball and was kind of sluggish or just
that poaching kind of striker.
Yeah. He didn't really, I don't even know, combine well with the midfield, which at times was a problem for Dortmund. And the reason why I'm not too high on them signing him long term, especially for the price that Chelsea wants. I'm not sold on him being the long term solution for Dortmund yet. But that's
I agree with
another topic that we can discuss at another time. But
definitely.
But like we talked about, Christian Pulisic looked really good this weekend. Had a great game. And Dortmund needed to have a good game this weekend.
That's right, with a few games left in the Bundesliga just to kind of solidify that Champions League spot. And
yeah, it definitely helps them for Champions League, because after that loss to Schalke, it looked like Champions League might not be in the cards for them next season. And Schalke actually drew this weekend, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So they only gained 1 point this weekend, which is good for Dortmund just as well as getting the win. So Dortmund are in a good position right now. Still have to keep going. The season's not over yet, and I think they'll rely on Christian Pulisic to carry them home this season, and some of the other players that have turned it on recently. So good to see. And now we want to talk about a player that we touched on last week, and that is Romain Gall. So Pat, what did Romain Gall do this weekend?
That's right. Excuse me, Romain Gall.
Let's discuss Romain Gall.
God, it was horrible. But anyway, he played really well, and like that joke. A 2-2 draw against Dalkurd. Okay. Again, Romain Gall was able to produce, got a goal, an equalizing goal there. And it was pretty much a striker's goal, just poaching a little bit inside the 18 there. And one of their players made a nice darting run down the flank and played that diagonal pass back in the 18. Romain just put it right into the back of the net. That's a goal and assist for him in the last 2 games and in the 5 games that the Swedish League has been going on, besides the fact of his preseason form that we were talking about a little while ago briefly. But it's good sign to see in a league I know that we where not many people know too much about, other than Mixed Diskerud and a few others being over there. But always exciting to see an American youngster work his way back and produce at a high level there. Yeah, and I love Romain Gall's story, because he was at Columbus Crew for a period of time. Went over, played in the 3rd division, I believe, in Sweden for a period of time, and now is on Sundsvall right there. Yeah, GIF Sundsvall. And is playing well from what we heard last season and now this season. So it just shows you what a little bit of hard work and determination can do for your career, and hopefully it'll help his long-term career, and he'll be a player that makes a long-term career, has a long-term career. Yeah, for sure. And again, like we mentioned before, starting in the first team there for Sundsvall, and they're sitting in the middle of the table. It's really early, but he had some strong game against Malmo there earlier, and that's a top team there in Sweden. Hopefully, Romain Gall can keep this form up and see where it takes him. Like you said, it's hard to kind of predict his future. Maybe with the U.S., it's obviously way on the outside looking in. But nonetheless, could be another year or two of strong performances and development that pushes him to a better team, and we'll see kind of where his career path goes. Yeah, it'll be exciting to see. Yeah. But Austin, I know, going back to the Bundesliga here with your jersey, your boy Weston. Back from injury, obviously, a little while ago, and looking good. Yeah, he looked pretty good this weekend. Yeah. So obviously, we're talking about Weston McKennie, who played in played 90 minutes in Schalke's 2-2 draw, unfortunately, with FC Köln. Right, at the bottom of the table, That's right, bottom of the Bundesliga. So it started off pretty well, the game. Schalke went up 2-1 in the first half, and unfortunately, Köln came back and got a second goal in the second half, which just from watching the first half, which I was only able to catch this weekend, Schalke looked like the superior team. So it was a little unfortunate to see that Schalke gave up that second goal in the second half. But Weston McKennie in this game looked okay. Had a few periods where he looked a little shaky in the first half, and then he had a nice kind of run of play where he got upfield and got forward, was looking for a pass into the box, but unfortunately the ball never came. Whoever it was on the left, I think it was Konopalenka, didn't pass it into him, and he was pretty much wide open into the box. Would have had a chance to maybe shoot on goal and maybe score. But other than that, he had a pretty quiet game.
he sat back further this game than I've seen him in other games for Schalke. I know from what we've seen of Weston McKennie so far, especially that one game he played for the U.S., he's really a player who likes to get forward.
That's right.
And is more of an 8, in my opinion, than a number 6. So in this game, he was asked to be that number 6, that deep-lying midfielder that is like the first line after the defense, and it really showed in this game. He stayed back the whole time. Had a little bit of trouble just linking up in the midfield.
Just finding the game pretty much, I guess.
Yeah, it just seemed like there was periods of time where he wasn't on the ball or wasn't getting the ball passed to him, and was a little timid in knowing when to receive the ball and when to call for the ball at the back, which is a little unfortunate to me. And maybe that's just what was asked of him. Maybe it was just, we're like, players going forward will get forward, and you're the guy to just sit back and be there when Cologne try to play on the counter, which they did during the game.
And Austin, I know you brought up the point earlier, just about McKennie loves to get forward, and we've seen him for the U.S.
And he looks good getting forward too.
He does.
He looks like he's got a lot of finesse and makes good decisions with the ball.
And Tedesco, I know I was looking a while ago, just an article or something was saying that they wanted to even consider him possibly center back, or like you said, playing that 6, which it seems like he could do. But it seemed like he had a few runs, like you mentioned, and has possibly that license to go up in certain scenarios or situations. And I guess they'll just kind of see how he fits into that Schalke team going forward. Yeah,
I know that was tossed out there, or kind of spread around that he might play as a center back during the season. I know Matija Natasic, one of Schalke's defenders, actually went down earlier in the season, and people thought that maybe McKennie would actually get more minutes there as a center back, even though it was just kind of, like I said, thrown out there. It wasn't really something that we thought was going to happen. But no, I think his best position is as a number 8. Obviously can play as a number 6, and he didn't look horrible in this game. He looked pretty good, for the most part. But yeah, I think that number 8 position is his position going forward with Schalke, especially next year when they lose Leon Goretzka to Bayern. Yeah. I think he's going to be the first guy they go to, and he's shown this year so far, in my opinion, that if given a chance next season to be the man in the midfield as Leon Goretzka was, I think he'll be able to step up and fulfill
with
that
Champions
role.
League potentially, most likely.
It looks like it, for sure.
That's more games and more time to players. So
yeah, and we also want to mention, speaking of like more time or not having more time in this case, Schalke actually lost in their midweek game in the Deutsche Pokal to Eintracht Frankfurt, which was the semifinal of that tournament. So unfortunately, they won't be in the final. Weston McKennie won't be in the final and have a chance to earn a trophy in this season, his first professional season. But Timothy Chandler will have that opportunity.
That's right. Again, Timothy, somehow.
Somehow,
plays well.
some way. True. But yeah, so we just wanted to mention that, and unfortunately, like we said, that's a big opportunity that he won't have to go for a trophy. Especially that might be the only way he'll win a trophy in Germany if he stays at Schalke. But yeah, so Weston McKennie, another pretty good performance. Not a standout performance by any means, but looked pretty good this weekend, and yeah, it's good to see. Good to see him start again. Played 90 minutes. So anytime an American player can play 90 minutes, or a young American player can play 90 minutes in a top 5 league, that's a good thing.
Definitely. So. And Austin, again, another Schalke player here.
Sure.
Shifting down to that U19 team, and he's had some interesting mixed news recently.
True.
As a team there, but also some injuries, but none other than
Nick Tadeguy. So Nick Tadeguy actually had a tumultuous weekend. So he started the Schalke's U19 game this past weekend. Unfortunately was subbed off midway through the game with what looked like a thigh injury, and if it wasn't a thigh, it was just a leg injury. So that's slightly concerning. Although in this game, Schalke won it. They also won the Junioren Bundesliga Championship, so basically the U19 competition that they play in during the season.
And I heard Zion Jones is there as well, celebrating. So,
he was on the in the picture when they raised the trophy and was super excited, and and was just happy to be there, be a part of it. And then you saw Nick Tattagui with crutches, unfortunately, in that same picture that I saw. So not good to see, especially since I know we touched on it a few weeks ago, I think, when we were talking about Nick. We were hoping that at the end of the season he'd get some playing time with Schalke's first team, and Schalke look like they're gonna wrap up a Champions League position somewhat early. Definitely. We would hope. So we'll see if Nick's injury is a bad injury. Hopefully during the next week or so, and then hopefully if it isn't a bad injury, he can rebound pretty quickly. Come back for the end of the U19 schedule, which has them playing, I think, a semifinal game in a tournament that they're in coming up in like 2 weeks or so. Okay. Might be this weekend.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, if the injury's not bad, he can maybe make his first professional appearance.
Right, and the season on a high note after, because he's had an injury before that we mentioned.
True. So he's been out 4 months with I believe it was a leg injury as well. So that's not good to see. Two leg injuries in the same season, and hopefully that's not a reoccurring thing for the future. I know we were talking a little bit off air. Just he kind of looks a little small and fragile. I think that was the word you used.
Right. No disrespect. It just it seems like maybe just another year or two to develop there, and just with the physicality, especially in a league like the Bundesliga, within the first team. Just you want to be able to take some knocks and make sure if it is a certain leg injury or problem that it's able to fully heal and recover, and make sure you don't have these minor setbacks. I'm no athletic trainer, but hopefully we can see him kind of build some more strength there and be able to sustain a long season. So that's really crucial.
Yeah, and hopefully, like we've talked about, he gets the opportunity next season to play professionally and thrive wherever that may be, whether that's on loan somewhere or at Schalke in their first team.
Definitely.
So after this, now we want to talk about another young player who we've been super high on, and that's Eric Palmer-Brown at KV Kortrijk. So Pat, how did EPB do this weekend? ETB. I have to say happy birthday to him.
Oh, okay. It's his 21st birthday, so congratulations. Cheers, even though, Belgium, you're good to go. But
True.
Anyway, so unfortunately for Kortrijk, they had a setback. Pretty bad loss. It was 3-0 to Zulte Waregem for the Belgium Europa League playoff spot. So they have these two groups there that they're playing into the Europa League there. And it was a tough loss.
Confusing.
Yeah, it sounds. Again, if in the comments below, if you guys, any Belgian fans in the league out there would like to elaborate a little more, help us understand.
Yeah, we'd love to hear.
I'd love to hear.
We'd love to hear about it. We would.
Yeah, honestly, but that puts them, I believe, 5 points back from that top spot in the group.
Okay.
So that's unfortunately for Palmer-Brown. Well, fortunately for him, he actually played. He subbed on in like the 16th minute early because of an injury there to one of the center backs. So again, last week he played 90. This week he was playing, about 70 plus minutes. None of the goals were directly his fault, which is, I guess, a positive.
It's good, I guess.
Yeah, I gotta guess. Just some good minutes to get under his belt again. Coming into a strange situation, being acquired by Man City and then just kind of loaned and trying to, during a fight for this team, getting the Europa League, kind of force him his way into a team that was having some consistent success. So that's kind of hard to break into, Austin.
Yeah, no, it is for certain. They're having a good season this year.
Yeah, they are.
They're a lot higher than I think people thought they were going to be going into this season.
So, and exactly, just saying, it seems like he's, put his head down, worked really hard, has that that grit mentality, the desire to succeed in Europe, and it looks like it's showing off to get some of those minutes here at the end of the season, and hopefully it'll be interesting to see. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what lies for him this off season.
Yeah,
I don't know, Austin. Maybe he'd go back to Kortrijk, or maybe a team in a higher league. But I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, he's got to earn that move, I think. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know how much, like what level would be what team would be on the same level as KV Kortrijk would be next year, because I don't think he's deserved the opportunity to go to like a PSV or an Anderlecht just from the few games we've seen of him, which is kind of unfortunate. But maybe something will work out and he does go to one of those teams and looks good. But
do you think maybe even a physical league like the Scottish Premier League or maybe even Denmark?
Scottish would be interesting. I know, other than Rangers and Celtic. Celtic, Hearts. Well, I don't know. Hearts isn't a great team, but that's an interesting league. I know Man City has like a feeder team in Spain at Girona.
Yeah, that's right.
So maybe you could go there. I think that might suit him. To be honest with you, obviously it's not the best defensive league, but he spent time in Portugal, which is similar, I would say, to the Spanish league. So. I mean, if he goes to Girona, it's in La Liga, which is a top 5 league. And I think that could do him well. But we'll have to keep an eye on that, and obviously we'll report anything that we hear over the summer.
You'll hear here first,
social
folks.
Media or the show, for sure. So,
but awesome again to cap it off here. Another player that is finally back in the spotlight here.
Yes, and that would be Jonathan Amon. So we've been waiting since like mid-January when he got injured with what was it, a tibia bone stress or something?
Some stress
fracture.
I don't know the medical term.
We're not doctors. But so he's back. He actually was on the bench for the first time since mid-January this past weekend, and came on in the 46th minute right after halftime for Nordsjælland, who really needed a boost after their first half against, I think you said league leaders, Brøndby,
league leaders,
right?
Brøndby's having a great season, apparently.
That's good. And Jonathan Amon came in, gave him that spark. I know the game finished 4-3. Nordsjælland lost to Brøndby, but we saw on Twitter that he just completely changed the game, just from what we saw on Nordsjælland's account. He was really involved in play going forward. I know Scuff tweeted out a nice little clip of him on the left wing, cutting in on his right foot, taking like 2 dribbles into the box and shooting all the way across the goal, forcing the keeper to make a really, really nice save. Although later we saw Jonathan at the end of the game have the opportunity to score a game-tying goal, but unfortunately just the ball came to him and he mishit it or he didn't hit the ball.
Scuffed.
He just scuffed the ball. But he didn't really get a touch on it at all, and the ball just sailed kind of right by him. So that was unfortunate to see. But again, it sounded like from what we could see and the few highlights we saw, it looked like he really provided that spark that Nordsjælland seeked from him, which is good to see that.
Definitely,
especially since this is his first game back. It also shows how much they value him and how much the coach there at Nordsjælland really trusts in him or thinks that he's a player that can make a big impact, bring him on at halftime against a league-leading team. That's no small feat or no small task for an 18-year-old player to do. So I think Jonathan Amon is in a really good situation at Nordsjælland, and we're really excited about what his future holds.
Exactly.
Obviously, Nordsjælland had Emery Moore at one time, who moved to Dortmund and then is now at Celta Vigo. But it looks like right now that Nordsjælland is a pretty good launching pad for some top teams in Europe. I know Emiliano Marcondes, another player that they had, recently moved to the Championship, which obviously isn't as high profile of a move, but just shows that Nordsjælland is very interested in playing young players, and they're also interested in selling young players. So we'll see what the future holds for Jonathan Amon, but we're just happy he's back on the pitch and really excited to watch him for the rest of the season. I know their season might be ending soon.
Right. Looks like he hasn't really skipped a beat, like you said. It made an impact, and really, again, on Twitter they're saying looked really dynamic going forward, one-on-one, that speed, that quick agility he had, and cutting in going forward. So exciting to see. He doesn't seem like he's shy in confidence, and Nordsjælland again will probably be, it looks like they're in a Europa League spot.
I think so. I didn't
competing for one
really
of the
look
playoffs.
At their standings. I should have probably did that.
But they're most likely usually either in a Champions League or Europa League, one or the other. So there'll be even more game time for him and more experience.
Yeah, that would be nice if he was playing in the Champions League next year. That would be pretty cool to see. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on Jonathan and keep reporting on him.
All right, guys, you know what time it is. It's time to get into that next segment, Austin. Quick kicks.
So you could test Dwayne Miller. It's Altidore over the wall, and that one is in! Josie Altidore from a long way out. The opening goal for the United States.
All right, guys, let's start things off here. Keaton Parks ended up playing 90 minutes in a 2-1 win for Benfica B over their rival Sporting. And Kenny Seth also played 90 minutes in an unfortunate 2-1 setback to Genk for a crucial Europa League spot in the Belgian playoffs there.
And after an impressive performance last week, Kevin Langford started and played 90 minutes for Heidenheim in their 1-1 draw with Union Berlin.
And unfortunate situations down the championship with Anthony Robinson and CCV, both playing 90 minutes but losing in brutal 4-0 losses.
And Jordan Saibachu played 31 minutes this past weekend and scored a goal in Stade de Reims' 4-1 win over Auxerre.
And last but not least, unfortunately, in the Stadium of Light, which has gone dark, Lyndon Gooch seems to be ruled out for the rest of the season, and Sunderland is looking to be playing next year in League One.
And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel.
And make sure to also check out our Instagram pages and Twitter. We got some great content going on there.
Always. And don't forget to leave a comment. We'd love to interact with you guys.
And Austin, how do we usually close out this show? I can't really recall. I don't know if you know.
We've done it, 11 times now? 10 times now?
Guess it's slipped my mind.
Oh, okay. Well, let me enlighten you. One day, we will win the World Cup. One day.